What's up, everybody? Psych Out back here with another Castle Crush video. This one again from the Specter tournament. So the last video we had a live, it wasn't a replay, it was just me playing live games in the Grand Tournament. I fired up Master Tournament, did not play it on record, so we'll have to watch a recording on this one, unfortunately, but we did get a Master Tournament victory. We're going to do a couple things. First, let's check out the sticker that we got. It's this crying angel or crying specter guy, so we're going to replace that one with the, do they both make sound? Oh yeah, they both make sound, but that one has a motion. That's kind of funny. Okay, what is that doing? I don't know. Okay, so we also, I've heard from some of you that you like piggy bank openings and chest openings, so because we have the gems and can afford it, it's going to cost us 6,900-ish, 6,870 something gems, to do it. But I think, look, we're going to get a legendary, a bunch of rares, some epics, and 51,000 gold. That's what we forget, we get 51,000 gold back. So it's not complete loss on that front. Let's go ahead and open up a piggy bank here. So it's going to cost us some gems, but we're going to get most of them back. Cards I don't use a lot, but I give away a lot, so that's a plus. And Genie. Not what I was hoping for out of the Epic card, I can tell you that. And okay, Spike Statue, very happy about that. Don't really care that much about the other ones. And yes! Amazing! That's just what we wanted, was the Shaman. As I was saying in my other videos, that was something I was really hoping to get. And a bunch of Specters. Okay, don't really care much for that one, but that is awesome. Now we can get a level 4 Shaman. So let's go to the deck we've been playing. We'll pay the 50,000 to get a level 4 Shaman. That's awesome, man. We should have no trouble now with our regular decks staying at 7,000 trophies with our level 4 Shaman, level 4 Hollow Knight now, which we got in the last video. Yeah, pretty awesome there. Yeah, so let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, during the championship, which we'll open our chest for that, I did pick up a legendary on the way. The magical chest on the way there included a legendary. It was a Dark Angel, and I picked up a whole bunch of Black Knights. We can go check that out. I promise I won't tease you. We will, in fact, open that championship chest. I picked up a bunch of Black Knights along the way through. Oh yeah, I forgot we've also done this. I won't upgrade it right now because I don't have any decks with Skulking in it yet, but I may use it now that I can get it to level 7. But yeah, so look, we're only 112. I know it sounds crazy, but 112 away from a max level Black Knight. That's going to be awesome. I don't have any cards at max level, and for an epic to be the first card we get to max level, that's going to be insane. So that'll be really cool. Okay, so let's open up this. So you see, it did take us 200 gems, as you'll see in the replay. I lost in round 2 and continued since it was still 100 gems to continue at round 2. So let's see what we got. 2 more Storm Elementals. Another legendary that we can get up to level 4, although I haven't been playing much with the Storm Elemental lately. Okay, and we've got another legendary here. Inferno's usually good, although with the latest nerf on Inferno, I haven't really been using it much. Another Dark Angel. Man, I might get Dark Angel to level 5 before any of my other legendaries. Okay, some Metamorphs and some Mages. Okay, Mage is cool. Yeah, we use Mage, so that's awesome. And some more commons. Okay. All right, cool. So, yeah, there we go. A Master Tournament victory. Let's go look and see where we're at in the standings. Of course, Romain is on top as usual. Vishu's been playing hard this tournament. He's got himself 5 Master Tournament wins. And where are we? We are 26th. Not too bad for not playing very much so far. Let's see, I've spent 220 gems so far. Well, of course, I got 200 back and I got another 10 back. So that means I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've played 7 and 1, 2. That's a pretty darn good win rate. I mean, that's pretty much on fire. I don't know if we can keep that up. But yeah, so use the different deck, and you'll see the deck here this time around. I could show, let's see what's going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so this must not have been with a continue. I must have lost and then started over. What did I do? How did it cost me 200? I'm not sure. Anyway, well, we have all 10 of the wins here. You can see the deck I was using. This is sort of like Sir Robin's deck. It's a little different. Sir Robin, I think, plays 2 Boneyards. It's actually a deck. I've been playing this deck in some of the daily mode games, and I thought, well, what the heck? I have really good success with in the daily mode games. Those games are kind of funky, but I thought it's especially good in the one where things gain health back, like the Druid one, the Nature one, where the vampire basically never dies. This deck is really good, but yeah. So I thought, well, let's try it out here, and so you'll get to see this deck in action. I think it's pretty cool. It's a lot like Sir Robin's deck, so I can't take a ton of credit for originality here, but there are a few things that are different about mine. All right, so let's take a look at the games. The first game is against Jay Camillo, not a player I recognized. Playing one of these big creature heal 'em up with nature heal kind of decks. Mana ritual, try to get something out fast. And I think my opponent does get out. I think he gets out of, is this the opponent? Yeah, he gets out of Black Knight really quickly, which is, you know, sort of scary, actually. Okay, so I played the Spike statue there, and I'm going to put the angel down with the idea being that she'll charge up that statue enough that I can kill the Black Knight. Now my opponent has a nature heal, which is unfortunate for me. I'm going to freeze, and now he's got a vampire, which is going to start doing some damage. My plan here is to wait until, and that was just perfect timing. I killed the Black Knight and saved the egg at the same time. And now we've got a formidable force coming. I'm going to throw the protection down. There's a secret to this deck, which I don't really know if I want to reveal, but maybe I should. Yeah, you really, the secret to this deck is you really want to protect the angel. So here it's just saving everything, keeping everything together. And now we've just got a force that's coming after him that's pretty much going to be unstoppable. Yeah, that's how this deck works. So that was pretty cool, and it was a pretty tough game for round 1 with my opponent getting a Black Knight so early. Opponent number 2, Sir Alex. Oh, wait a minute. Now I know what the problem is. Yes, okay. Now I realize why the games are off. Okay, leave this one. No, I don't want to restart. I want to quit. How do I quit this? Yeah, I push that button. There we go. Yeah, I forgot. I kept accidentally pushing the stupid in-game mode. I kept thinking I was hitting championship, and I was hitting this button and then battle, and I kept screwing up and playing. I kept playing the wrong games, so that's why these are mixed in. Okay, so that game is not one worth watching. This must have been round 3. That must be the case, that this was round 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we don't have the round 1 game. That was the round 2 game, was against Jay Camillo, which was on a continue. Now it's all making sense to me. And round 3 was against Ice. Now I had just played this opponent my previous Master Tournament attempt and beat him, so I kind of knew what deck he was playing, but I was playing a different deck. I was playing that Valkyrie power deck that I played in my last video. And then I gave up on it because I forget why. So my opponent played that card way too quickly there. It was just totally unnecessary to play the demon. He could have saved it, or at least played it in the lane that killed my angel. It didn't make any sense for my opponent to play a card there. And my opponent decides to play protection here, which I don't really understand. I probably didn't need to play my Jester that quickly, but I decided I really wanted to try to save my angel, which I think I do get to save somehow here eventually, or does she die? Maybe she dies. Oh yeah, she did, because of the Inferno. Okay, so this game is kind of a mess, kind of a disaster already. Here, I decide I'm just going to switch lanes and play my protection because I want to kill all those skeletons with my giant phoenix now. So that's the problem, is that my opponent has allowed me to get a really big phoenix, which is just going to do lots of damage. I don't even need to use the ice there, just hammering my opponent. And here again, I thought about, lots of options. I decided to push those skeletons back and then use my giant phoenix to do all the damage, and there we go. End up getting a flawless victory. So this deck's kind of neat. There's a lot of tricks. I think it takes a lot of practice to play this deck. I don't think you can just pick it up. I mean, it helps if you're a Reaper player. Some of the ideas are the same with the standard bearer moves, but there's a lot of neat tricks with this one. So that was round 3. Round 4 against DAV. Did not recognize this opponent. And, the nice thing about this deck, I think I've mentioned this before about Sir Robin's deck, is you usually get pretty decent draws. And I've got a lot of options here. I could go for the Boneyard, which I think I ultimately do. I could have went for the Phoenix behind my Jester, which would have been a decent play. I just think there were a lot of choices. And now, so here you can see my opponent's coming with a Reaper deck. I play the Shock because I want that to be dead. And here we throw down a stone statue. And I don't know if I saved the egg in time. No, I did not. Or the spike statue. But rather, here's a neat move. You can move that spike statue with your standard bearer. Now here I was kind of worried because I'm kind of like, well, there's a lot of problems here. And when I talk about neat things you can do with this deck, well, here's one thing my opponent should not have really done was push that back, I don't think. But now watch this little trick here. I'm waiting for the right timing. Now I'm going to freeze because I know I've got a standard bearer coming, and I'm going to switch and drop the vampire right in front of. Now he threw a standard bearer in between, which sort of spoiled my plan, but it didn't really because it let me stop that Reaper. And now look, the Reaper is stopped. He's got another Reaper up top, and he pushed me back, which actually helps me get to that Reaper, which is really not the best idea. So it's unclear why maybe I was going to win before he could have done anything anyway, but that little trick there where you time the freeze so that you can drop the right card in front of the Reaper where you want, I think is an important one to know when you're going to play a deck like this. There's lots of tricks you can use with Wind and Freeze and Standard Bearer in combination with this deck, and so it takes some practice. So 2, 3, 4, round 5. Did not recognize this opponent. But like Reaper decks, this deck does win quickly. So again, I didn't recognize the opponent. One of my clanmates had just beaten this opponent, and so I didn't think that this player was really playing an overtime deck. Just based on my clanmate who had won, I think he would have said something about him playing OT. So here my plan is to let my Phoenix die and then throw the Hollow Knight in front. Boom, just like that. And then the plan would be to throw the Angel down, which I did, but unfortunately my opponent froze, sort of spoiling my plan momentarily. This kind of weird move, my opponent puts the egg up there and it's just going to die. I don't get that. Now I wish I had Standard Bearer here. If I had been playing better, I would have done it sooner. Or at least I should have played the protection, but I did not. Now another bad move by my opponent to play the Hollow Knight right in front of my vampire, and also the whatever that guy's called, the golem in front of it. I mean, this is just all, these moves don't work at all. Here you get a little bit concerned about a Black Witch, but I do have the Shock in my hand. And now I'm doing so much damage. I'm holding on to all these Standard Bearers because I haven't really needed to play the Standard Bearer. I'm just doing so much damage, and now I can just play a bunch of them in a row just because it'll throw my opponent off and get me the win quickly. So that's all we did there. Okay, so that was round 5, I believe. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Round 6 was against Nick. Yeah. And Nick kind of playing some sort of mixed deck. You know, I see a lot of opponents do that. They wait and then play that crystal. I never understood that. Maybe there's something I'm missing or not understanding. Here, I wish I'd obviously played the Phoenix in the top lane, but don't worry, we'll take care of those skeletons later. And so here we go. The plan here is to save my Phoenix somehow. And I'm going to do that with a wind. There we go. My opponent decides to lightning bolt the egg, and that's fine because that means he didn't lightning bolt my Hollow Knight, and we get the timing perfect on that. And at this point, it's going to be pretty tough for my opponent to win. He does play a Reaper there, but fortunately we get to the Reaper too quickly. Play the Boneyard, and that's not going to work. Everything he plays now, I think he plays a bunch of stuff sort of in front, and I don't really have any reason to move anything, so I just sort of keep killing it. It would be nice if I was doing more damage to the castle, but I don't want to waste standard bearers when I don't need to use them. I mean, in principle, it's helping him get closer to his dragon. Now I'm going to use it because I want the angel behind my vampire, and now I'm going to use it again to finish the game off. So yeah, that was 6. 8 and 7 was against Victor from World United. I don't know Victor very well, but yeah, wow, it's good trophies for Victor. Good player, and he's playing a rush deck, and you'll see rush decks can be really scary, especially this one with double Boneyard. He gets both Boneyards out after me, and I think I have a pretty good draw. Now, the one downside I'll say about this deck that makes me a little nervous is there's only one Jester, and when you play that card first, you're kind of saying, well, it's going to be hard to deal with the skeletons that get to my castle, which is why it's really important not just to protect your Jester, but to also think about how you're going to deal with those skeletons. And in my case, the way I'm going to deal with them is with a wind and a standard bearer combination. And I don't know if I do that in this game, but you've seen me do it in a previous game. Yeah, here comes the wind and the standard bearer. Now, unfortunately for me, my opponent got a whole bunch more skeletons that all ended up right at my castle, which is like perfect for him. Now, we're doing more damage per second. I'm sort of slowing him down here. The vampire is going to slow him down, and he's going to try to slow me down too. But I've got a freeze, and that's going to make us get the win right there. So yeah, it was getting close. I mean, my opponent had the meteor in his hand, and if he had a chance to drop that, I was going to lose that game. So yeah, a very close game against a rush deck. Round 8 was against Dark Lord from Revolution, somebody I've played many times, high-rated player. He is playing, I don't know, some sort of a mixed deck. It looks like a rush deck, sort of, and then it comes with a vampire and a executioner. And I don't remember what happens here. I don't remember if he gets out that catapult or not. I think he doesn't get it out. So, pretty good draw for me. Got the angel, and the angel does not get hit by the skeletons right away, so that's good news. So he's going to have to use another card to kill it, which he does. That's okay, because my vampire is going to match up well there. Now, he should use, yeah, there he goes. Okay, he did use that. And I've got the angel now to go with my vampire. So he's going to have to figure out a way to stop that attack. I draw my freeze, which is perfect timing. Freeze everything up. And here I kind of screwed up. I pushed everything back and forgot that was going to move his Black Witch back, but I saved the day with a little standard bearer move. Here I moved the standard bearer again because I just don't want to fight that Jester. I like my skeletons being up front. He freezes, which is a little disturbing, but then I see the executioner, and I'm not too worried because I do have the vampire up there, which I know is going to take care of it. And now we've got control of all the lanes, and the Black Witch didn't have enough time to get out there. and we got the win. So that was cool. Round 9 against Staines from Venezuela. Not a player I recognize, not a high-rated player. He's got a sort of a power-looking deck here. And, of course, when I see the stone statue right away, I'm thinking Reaper. So I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to hold on to? I know I want to hold on to the wind. I know I want to hold on to the freeze. What do I want to dump? I decided I don't want to dump anything. And, of course, the card I miss is the shock. Turns out I wasn't playing a Reaper deck after all, so losing the shock wasn't such a bad deal. Put my Phoenix there. I've got a plan. I've got a wind if I need it. I also have the vampire to sort of dig me out of the hole, and then I can back that up with an angel, which is exactly what I do right here. Boom. And we're going to kill that egg, and I got down my protection. Unfortunately, I should have done a freeze there, I think, because I think my vampire ultimately dies. If I had done the freeze and killed that 8 pirate, my vampire would have stayed alive, but yeah. So I'm attacking the castle. I'm not hitting it with a ton of power because my Phoenix is still level 1, but we're doing plenty of damage, and there's really nothing my opponent can do to stop me, so there's no point in switching lanes. Now I switch lanes because he's got the Jester, and I might as well go for the kill, and we got it there. And finally, in number 10, I played Nana from Taiwan, number 1, who was playing what I would describe as a Romaine-style Reaper deck. Romaine has been playing this sort of, it's not a Reaper deck, rather a Romaine-style standard bearer deck. It's similar to my deck. It's similar to Sir Adam, is that his name? Sir Robin, sorry, Sir Robin's deck. And but it uses the catapult, which can be really tricky to deal with because it can switch lanes with that catapult. Okay, so we say hi to each other, and yeah, pretty decent draw. I got my Jester. And now I'm going to play my Boneyard. Fortunately for me, those skeletons landed right in front of my Jester, which is awesome. Basically meaning his Boneyard did virtually nothing. Mine didn't do a ton either, but a little bit more than his did. And now it's sort of a tricky spot. I put my Spike statue there, hoping to grab this Hollow Knight. He freezes. I decide I'm going to play my protection now. And I've got some options. And my opponent switches lanes. I decide to make this little maneuver. I don't know if it was the best maneuver. I thought this was going to work because of my freeze, and it looks like it's going to. Yeah, my opponent played another standard bearer, but now I've got my last standard bearer, and he's sort of out of gas. And I can play my vampire back there if I want to defend, and that's exactly what I do. I think I didn't save my egg, but I didn't need to because it was all over. So yeah, pretty cool victory against a tough opponent there. So yeah, that was our Master Tournament win with kind of a fun deck. It's I can't, again, it's not a totally unique deck because the ideas are sort of with Sir Robin's, but it is different from his deck. I can show you his deck. I'm pretty sure he's still, well, let's see. If he's not in the global leaderboard, we can find him. We can find him right there. And so the deck he plays is, whoa. Actually, it's even more similar to mine than I thought. He's playing with 2 Jesters. I play with the protection. So that's the only difference, is I use a protection and he uses 2 Jesters. Before he was not playing that way. He had 2 freezes. He had some different things going on there. But anyway, so our decks are really quite similar. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, that gives you some of the ideas. If you always wondered how Sir Robin was so good, and by the way, he is really good. If we look at his, he may still be up here in the top. I don't know if he's up here or not, but he was up way up high for a long time with not that high level cards. So yeah, so he's really good. If you wondered why he's so good and how his deck works, that's some of the ideas in the deck. And I have to tell you, it's not one you can just pick up and play. It takes some practice to get all of the intricacies and a lot of the ideas that you can make work with it work for you. Hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.